It is Monday, May 13th, 2019, and this is yet another Bitcoin Moon prediction video. Let's tune in to the next episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin. Take a quick look at the disclaimer. You can pause the video to read through it or click on a link in the description down below. Let's jump into the charts, and I'm going to post a link to our Discord chat over in the live chat area. So if anyone's watching along at the same time, you can join us on Discord and chat about Bitcoin prices all day and all night. Now, since last episode, quite a bit has happened. We were watching this top formation shape up and did a couple episodes as this was shaping up, and we saw the RSI diverging and the on-balance volume was weaker. We saw some great indicators for taking a quick short position here. And then we're watching prices build up, and I'm still believing Bitcoin is going to go higher, but I want to get the evidence for myself and track it from day to day by monitoring these three indicators: the relative strength index, the on-balance volume indicator, and the MACD indicator. So I'm picking these three to go along with my chart patterns and the trends and the moving averages to do the trading signals. If you think that there is a different indicator that would be good to add into this or replace one of these, I want to hear your comments down in the description below or in the comments below. So now what we're looking for is the consolidation and the evidence of which way this is going to be going. So we have this triangle. We have a nice continuation of this overall trend. We do have a top here now, and I'm looking at the RSI to see, is it diverging? Was it showing something here through the day that would have told you to close that short position? Certainly with a short position, if it's not going down on the elevator and it hesitates, it's a good time, if you're profitable, to bring your stops up close. So now things are back to reanalysis again and decide what to do rather than take any kind of short trades. Let's take a look at the on-balance volume and see what it's telling us on the last 3 days. So as things were coming up, this is where I was identifying the top. We have higher highs, lower volume, and the RSI was also weakening off. So this was really giving it, and there was such a clear trend line break. It was a clean, easy thing to spot and to take action on. And then if your stops were close, you took a little bit of profit out of this, and it's building up now. This is really great to see. For the bullish side is that we have this trickling of on-balance volume positive all the way through, and that it's picking up and stronger at this point is really good. And we go out to the longer time frames, we'll see more detail. Let's take a look at the MACD indicator. Okay, so it crossed over right as this short trade ran out of steam. So it stayed pretty good. It crossed over as this was coming up. One of the indicators I'm monitoring and wanting to learn how to identify patterns that happen all the time. So this is a 15-minute trading time frame. I don't really trade here very often. I'm just observing it now since we're so close to the top. I want to observe all of this, especially the longer time frames now. So let's go back to the RSI and zoom out time frames on this. Last time we did the zoom in on time frames. Now we're zooming out. I'm still seeing a divergence in the RSI where it's not as strong as we have a lower high here. So I'm still looking for that top formation and evidence of it. And if I zoom out more to the 1 month view and we're looking at the 4-hour bars, the RSI now is, it switches its view for me because I get this perspective of this uptrend and that it's coming up as the moves go strong, and then it's back to the trend, strong as the move goes up, and it's back to the trend. That's really good. If it breaks below this trend on the RSI, then we know that we've come into something to pay attention to all the way along. So we could have quite a bit more time on this one to see how it shapes up. And I'm thinking for my own part that well, I'll go into that pattern in a second. Let's zoom out more. Now we're at the 12-hour bar, and it's much the same with the RSI for me, is that it is showing stronger support here, and it's not showing the divergence that says things are topping out and coming down yet. So I am expecting more of the blow off top. Let's go to the on-balance volume, zoom back on this one. I see online MLM from India is good to see you here. Thanks for saying hello. And Trader Rituto is here. Thanks for saying hello. So as this was moving up, we got on balance, volume, and then wow, this big dump, but it wasn't enough to crack it very far, and it wasn't enough to actually dip the trend line. So it didn't have that much power to it, even though. So then the selling eased off, the on balance volume turned positive as we were setting up here. And this is great to see this coordination of right at this breakout, at this, obvious breakout here, that this was showing green before it crossed to the top. So this is one of the indicators that I'm wanting to pay attention to in the very earliest point as the chart formation is breaking, and we get that before it turns positive. I'm just observing, and I'm not sure if I would take it as a trading signal, except at a special circumstance. That's the 1 hour time frame too, and I like to go longer time frames just because it filters out some of the stuff that the manipulation can do. So here we are, stronger volume, and now it's got to pick up. It's really got to pick up if we're going to blast higher. Zooming back out, so we do see good strong volume, trickle, a good run of it, but not enough coming up to match what we had on the run up so far. We need more volume for this to really break. On the 1 year view also, the volume is increasing as we're going up here on like the bottom lines here, but it needs to pick up and be stronger. And I remember saying this on the 5 year term in kind of shock that we haven't seen very much of the big volume yet. So the big volume hasn't come in. We haven't seen the big moves take off yet. When I see this, that's what this is telling me. Now we'll move to the MACD indicator. We see that it's showing the crossover through this triangle formation. So as it was tightening up right here and this was crossing over, we got a couple different things that were giving us the early edge that it was going to be continuing on higher, not dumping lower as it was making this consolidation. That's really key stuff to take away from this observation, because that is over a 18-hour period of this consolidation on the 15-minute bars. Look on the 1 hour bar, and we can see this is crossing over to confirm just as that consolidation setting up. Really awesome to see these confirmations right at those amazing chart patterns. So this isn't looking as strong. We have the green is coming up a little bit. The histogram is getting more positive, but this has to come up with the volume. This has to cross over. It has to. We go back out, and we're looking a lot better here on the 4 hour time frame. Still looking great. Still looking positive. Not topping out, and the green line is not losing momentum compared to the red. The spread between them is still nice and steady. So that's strong. And again, on this longer term view, it's looking strong. We haven't seen this tick sideways to give us the indication that it's topping. We can see over here. Nothing like that going on yet, which is very bullish. I'm expecting that volume is going to come in. When we're seeing this stuff, the volume will follow it. The volume will follow this. This is enormous. We are not seeing any slowdown in this at all. So the $11,000 range is not inconceivable. Zooming back in on that. Now let's go and take a look at the 4 charts here. I've got the 4 daily bar charts of Bitcoin daily, just to take a look at these candles in a close range in the daily candles. And it's something that I take a glance at, but I'm not a candle expert for sure. So observation of the candles can't be harmful. Anything you can learn and add to your trading to fit, like you learn your basics of trading, the skeleton of your trading rules, and then you start adding more and more flesh onto it as you get more and more detailed and refined with it. But it still has to have those basic core trading rules, and that's what I go by: is the 1, 2, 3 tops, the 1, 2, 3 bottoms, exponential moving average crossover, so I can see the momentum shift. And I'm not much of a day trader. I was looking at a chat just this morning, and a guy says to spot reversals, he looks at the 10 or 15 minute bars. Sometimes he trades for the day on a 1 hour time frame. Another guy says he uses the 30 minutes for reversals and swings and the 4 hour for daily positions. Sometimes the 5 minute when we have a lot of volatility. And I trade, the 12 hour bars and the 1, 2, 3 formation. So it's much more a trend following system for the trades that I actually take. This looks like a trend taking off. Ethereum US dollar, Litecoin US dollar. We zoom back out to these super long term on these are great bottom formations, and all of them look like they're all going to be breaking out and taking off. Phenomenal. Now to finish up, I want to go over Bitcoin dominance, which is making a top formation potential, but it's also in its uptrend. If we go back to the 6-month time frame, this has been going up really fast, and it's breaking prior support and resistance from long time weeklies are getting broken, and on increasing strength weekly bars. We're not done seeing Bitcoin dominance go, and the alts are going to get crushed even more. So taking a look at the altcoin market cap, it's sort of like getting the frog getting boiled slowly in the water. As the water heats up and the frog doesn't realize that the temperature is changing. When we're looking at the altcoin market cap and we're looking at the altcoins versus US dollar, we're being lulled into complacency thinking that, hey, everything is going up in value. And it is. It's going up in value, US dollar. It is getting more market cap, but it's falling back against Bitcoin. When we see the dominance, that's falling back against Bitcoin. It's going up against the US dollar, but still falling back against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin dominance is ruling, and holding altcoins should be a smaller part of your portfolio right now. Even though the altcoin market cap is going up. Now, we've got another channel that we go over the altcoin in detail to find out when are they going to go back into a bull market again. We had a luxurious 6-week bull run in cryptos. They went from the middle of February until the end of March as our bull run this time, and they topped out, and they're getting squished down as Bitcoin is taking off. So this is our survey. You can see that red and orange is don't buy. Those are going down to historical lows. When they turn from red and orange to gray, and then from gray to yellow, and then from yellow to green, we know that the cryptocurrencies have turned from like the bottom formations we saw in December and January, and they've gone from the oranges and the reds, and they've turned to the yellows and the greens. Then we know we're back into a bull market. So if you're interested in this bull market watch, be sure to check out the other channel. I'll put a link. There is a link in the description down below. We also study the bullishness and bearishness of the entire market on Binance as well. So here are, 150 markets. 92 of them are down below their 1, 2, 3 bottoms. And last time I did the scan, only 15 of them were higher. So we're going to be watching these for these bottom formation capitulation lows, and I don't think we've seen them yet. I think we're in for more bad news for altcoins. And we'll see how that plans out. As Bitcoin is taking off, it just can't do anything else but crush those alts for now. They will pick back up. So this is it for now. I think this is going to be going higher, except that when I look at this chart, I want to err on the expectation that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be just blasting off higher and you could just buy now and sit back. It's going to have a lot of sweat equity built into the next run up, in that it's going to come back to this line, and it's going to come back to this line, and it's going to come back to this line. Every single time it's going to look like a wicked top formation and the beautiful time to sell every time. So we'll see how this pans out in the next little while as this builds up. And I want it to do this. I want it to make that ascending wedge triangle so that it does have the power to blast straight up to the $11,000 range. Fantastic stuff. Thanks for tuning in. That wraps it up for today, and we'll tune in tomorrow to see how these indicators have all changed, and we'll monitor them from day to day. Thanks again. This is the 24 Hours of Bitcoin.